All right, I'm a little stressed out. Wasn't gonna do a video today, but I got so much crap going on. The air separator came in, picked it up Friday, worked over the weekend, and I went to go put it in today. Put it all together. I went to go put a valve on the last T-fitting, and the T-fitting cracked. Literally just hand threading it on, and it cracked. So I've got to redo the entire manifold. Again, this is how things turn into a massive project. I would have liked to use Schedule 80. The difference between Schedule 40 and Schedule 80 is that Schedule 80 is a lot thicker and a lot more durable. Except for some reason, it's just very hard to come by down around here. I don't know. So we just have to Frankenstein stuff together. It's really a pain. I'd much rather use Schedule 80. So if you guys are looking at that video that I just did, and then maybe I take another one, you see me using Schedule 40, it's not because I'm cheap. It's just because that's sort of what's available right now. To try and find Schedule 80, it's just, I don't know, just a pain in the butt sometimes. Even at my supply house, I have a hard time getting the actual fittings that I need. So consequently, I literally just hand threading it together, and it went kink, and it's glued together, which is why I don't like to glue things either, because then I can't take the nipple off of it and just re-thread it back together again. So I'm gonna have to redo that whole thing all over again. I almost cried. Anyway, so that's on Southern Comfort. I was so excited to get that thing up and running and put that thing to bed before I go away on vacation at some point. Maybe not gonna happen. I don't know. I had a charter this weekend and lost steering. Now I've owned the boat for 20 something years, never had a problem with it, but you never have a problem till you have a problem. So that's my tank right there. I just filled it up. There was no fluid in it. You can see the fluid line right there. No fluid left in it. So it went somewhere. So there's a leak somewhere on the boat. So I got some ATF fluid, which is what is used in here. And I filled it up and I pumped it up, and as you can see, it's holding pressure, and I pumped it up yesterday while I was here to that same level, and it stayed overnight. So it's really probably a pretty slow leak, so we'll try and have to track that down. But I've pressurized it, so I thought I would just stop for a minute and show you how to bleed a system just in case. And I've done this once or twice before. I think we had a Marlowe. I had to drive up to Georgetown and work on that and put a whole new ram system in. I showed you how to bleed it, but it's pretty simple. So I've got it at least 3/4 of the way up, because a lot of that fluid's going to go away. But I also didn't put too much in, because just in case there was a major leak, I didn't want it bleeding all over the place. So I'm about 3/4 full, and I put pressure on it, probably about 15 pounds of pressure. Now I got to go to my wheel here, and I've got to start turning it left or right. Now you can see it turns real easy, and then I got to turn it this way, and you want to go slow. If you go too fast, as the fluid goes through the bearings, it creates air. It agitates it, kind of, and it creates air, and then you've got to take a really long time to try and get that air out of there. So if you go nice and slow, I think it's about 30 or 60 revolutions one side and then the other, what's going to happen is that all the fluid is going to start getting pushed up into here, and all the air is going to go back into the tank. So theoretically, I'll see the level go down a little bit, and theoretically my pressure as well. I think the pressure's gone down a little bit. So I'm going to do the lower one first, which is what this one is, until we can get some pressure. You can see it's really easy to spin. You should hear almost, you can hear the bearings on the inside. So I'm going to do this for a minute, and then when I get this done or getting close, I'll take another video to show you what it looks like almost primed, and then we'll have to do the upper station. Okay, so that didn't take too long. It was like another 5 seconds after I just shut it off. It's starting to see how it's not, hear it, and it's stopping, whereas before it was freewheeling, and you'll feel it kind of, hear that? There you go. And then it'll skip a little bit. That's air pocket. There we go. I think that's hard over. So we're hard over one way. And now once I turn it this way, because we haven't primed that side, this is probably going to get really loose again. Don't worry about that, because you got to do that side now. See how easy? How it spins? But it'll eventually See, it's spinning less and less. It's getting a little bit harder. And notice the sound changes in the pump. Oh, see? Air. And you want to go back and periodically check your fluid as well as your pressure. Pressure still looks pretty good. So does the fluid. All right, so I'm going to do this side. Let's see. If I shut the camera off again, hopefully it'll prime pretty quickly. But this is pretty much it. There are bleeder valves in the back. Let's see if I can, let me see. So I can't show you that. We are on Hatteras. This is my old 1971 36-foot Hatteras. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. We do a lot of work on it, but so here and here are bleeder valves. So if you just crack those, that will bleed both sides. I think I got an Allen wrench set kicking around here somewhere. I have a really, really nice set, both metric and SAE, and every size from like a hair size all the way up to big, like, you know, 1/4 inch. I don't know where it is. So it's usually on this boat all the time, right down there in that little cubby. But so we can crack these too if it's starting to be a bit of a process. But I think this is going to come pretty quickly. But those are your bleeder valves right there. So just crack them a little bit and you'll see a bunch of air sputting out of that. Let's see. Let me see if I've got my thing. Well, if I can find my my Allen set, I'll bleed that for you. Okay, so as I was looking for it, I just did it one more time and you can listen. Ooh, boom. Hard and locked over. Yep. And that's all feeling good. So this one was pretty easy. And then what you want to make sure that you can go lock to lock a couple of times, getting to be lock. Oh, so you got loose again. Don't worry about it. It'll come back. Just check your pressure. Hear it again. There we go. And then the other side. It'll get easy again. There we go. We're going to go lock to lock. There we go. All right, so now this is pretty good. I'm going to go do the bridge. I'm going to check my fluid. It's still pretty good. I'm going to go check the bridge. I'm also going to go check the ram. I'll jump in the back and check the ram. One of the engines I rebuilt. So plenty of information on this. These are T63544 Perkins. I've done a lot of videos on redoing these things. Port side, this is the starboard side here. We did the head on this one, the whole fuel system, exhaust manifolds, things like that. So anyway, can't find my wrenches. There's no need to do that on this. It's a very small system too. So on a bigger system, we might have to worry a little bit more. So like I said, I'll go in the back and show you that ram and see if the ram's leaking. Okay, so we've got it to turn. That was all the way in the other direction. Now it's on this side. Here's the ram right here. So here's your fluid coming in and going back out. And if you can see, right down there is just a little bit of oil. If I put my finger right there, it's that little weep, probably where it's coming from. I think I rebuilt this ram 20 years ago. So what I'll probably do is eventually just pull this thing back out, get it serviced, or buy a new one. There is a local shop that can rebuild this. I think I did it last time, but I'm not quite sure I got time for this stuff anymore. So pretty easy to do. So that's our ram, and it's probably where it's leaking from. All right, so lastly, the thing that you want to do is both upper and lower. You want to turn all the way to port and all the way to starboard, lock to lock. Count how many times you go from port all the way over starboard, split that in half, and that's going to put you back in the middle. And then go check your rudders in the back, or if you have a rudder indicator, check your rudder indicator, make sure that it's back at 0. Do the same thing for your lower as well as your upper station. Make sure that there's no loose spots in it. If there's a loose spot in it and it kind of skips, then you still have some air bound up in the system. So get it out of there and then count lock to lock, bring it back to center, and you've pressurized your system and you've basically redone your Hynautic steering system. So that's it. Quick rundown on that. Thanks for watching. Again, make sure you guys like, share, the whole 9 yards. We love it when you guys subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out a lot. Again, if you got comments, please let us know. And if you're looking for information on something, let me know. We'll take care of it for you. Thanks for watching.